Hey everyone, hope your week's going well. Coming to you today from the TECT All-Terrain Park, which is just on the road on State Highway 36 out to Rotorua from Tauranga. Quite conveniently, only about 20 minutes or so from where I live actually, just up from Oropi. So I've got a guest appearance here again, trail dog. He'll show his face in a minute once I get hold of him. So let's go and hit the trails. Go up. Oh yeah. Apologies for the sniffing. Got COVID, but I do have a bit of a cold, which I've picked up. So I've got a nasal drip, which is nice and attractive. Big old pond. Watch your head. Oh, you've got plenty of room there, Baz. You're underneath. So am I. I'm not exactly a giant. So this first part of the run is probably the most interesting part of the whole lot. Get some sort of a bit further on. It's quite rocky and canyony. Which is quite neat. Quite surprised the water level's not a bit higher actually. Yeah. So just coming up to the tunnel that goes underneath the State Highway 36. It's pretty dark in here. Yeah, you can get through here as long as you're just walking and not being stupid. You can actually get through this tunnel without a torch. But if you want to, you can obviously whip out your phone, provide a bit more illumination, avoid stumbling. But I sort of figure by the time I get the phone out, turn it on, I'm sort of pretty much out the other side anyway, so no real need. So this is just where Peterson Camp is, which I think is where they have maybe school trips come camp up here, but if you keep going down that way, that continues along the same trail we've been on and will take you back to the car park, but that's way too short for what we want to do today, so you just got to take a right here and go through this wooden turnstile type thing, bollard, what do you want to call it, and then head on up this sort of access track, which is short and steep and not a whole lot to see. Meet you at the top. Travelling along the mountain bike trail Lusitanica now, so sort of midway up that little access bit. Hang a left and that will throw you out onto this mountain bike trail. Now, despite the fact that it is a designated mountain bike park, it's massively underutilised. Very few mountain bikers have I ever seen up through here. I've been up here quite a number of times at all different times of the day and different days, you know, weekends, during work, after work, and very rarely do I ever see anybody. So the fact I've got the dog running around off leash and able to run on these, it's not a problem. Chance of me actually meeting somebody is pretty slim. An old trail dog, he loves running free. Let him get a bit of steam up. So the great thing about this trail is that you get a real mix of both native forest and plantation forest. So we've just been running through that little native stretch through there, which you can just see here. And then just off to the left, on the other side, is a relatively new pine forest, at least newly planted. I don't know how old they would be. They'd be, I don't know, 8 years, 10 years maybe. I should know. I used to be involved in forestry, but it was many moons ago. Oh, trail dog. There we go. Typically trying to trip me up as usual. Right, I put the blinker on. There you go. 10 right. On to Buffalo Girl. Look up, pup. Oh, I think it might be a drink time. Yeah, buddy, you okay? Great. That's going to be in my car later on. Hey, you need to clean that off before you get in. Good boy. Let's go. Just stepped about 10 metres off the track there, off Buffalo Trail, and just off to the left there where that grass is where the clay shooting takes place. So I don't want to get too much closer than this, but just off of the distance there, just where the sun is, and I'm just going to put the giant finger down in there and hopefully point it in the right direction. Just right there is a mountain I've been talking about in some of my other videos, which is linked to Mount Maunganui and Otanewanuku, and the name of that mountain, and anybody is free to correct me if I'm wrong here, is Patuwhenua, which was the female mountain who was in love with Otanewanuku and who rejected Moau, who then made his tragic journey out towards the ocean to drown himself and then got caught by the rays of dawn. So there we go. I thought I was full circle in the last video, but this is genuinely full circle. All three mountains in that Māori legend now accounted for. Happy days. I'll just have a little detour into Lost Tank, sorry. Especially if they've tidied it up, which they have. You coming, Baz? Come on. Yeah, he's a bit distracted. Oh, yeah. Yeah, last time I was up here, this was a bit overgrown, it was painful running. But nice to see someone's come through and cut it back. Well, there is a tank out here, but in terms of highlights on the run, it's not exactly that high up on the list. But it's nice to check things out as you're passing them. Give you guys a look to see whether or not you think it's worth a short detour. And there we have it. As I said, nothing too great. Little picnic table over there. Whoop, under we go into the gorse. No! Come here. Don't go down there, buddy. This way. Come on. Right. Well, there's about 2 or 3 trails in the wildthings.club trail directory. I prefer to run this one, which is called TECT Infinity. I think it's got a little bit more variety. It's also a little bit longer, and I also thought of it, so I'm a little bit biased, I think. But anyway, there is a loopy bit that you can follow, which is on the diagonal of that car park, the main car park, which has about 8 different cars in it, which is about as many as I've ever seen. So you can go there and add some extra distance on, but today I'm just going to follow the equestrian link, which is the blue signs. Can get a little bit tricky here, so you just got to make sure that when you arrive at a post that has one of these little signs on it, you're almost putting your back to it and sort of going in the opposite direction to where it's pointing, because I think at one point it becomes one way, but more on that later. There's the loop that I was referring to earlier that you can add on. That's Kedadoo loop. Kedadoo, I think that means wood pigeon. So that adds on, I don't know, a K and a bit, I think, from memory. It just runs around where the dog exercise area is. But we'll do that today. I'm just going to continue down the equestrian link. And I'm just taking things nice and slow here. Just a bit mindful that trail dog doesn't go out for big long runs. He's still only 18 months old, so I don't want to put too much stress on his bones, and also I don't want him to get too tired and then start packing a sad. So I'll just go off at a wheezy pace, keep a bit of an eye out on him. The good thing is it's, you know, middle of winter and he ain't going to overheat, because with that big shaggy coat, I'd imagine in summer that's a real possibility. Hey, trail dog. So it's a bit of a dreary day, but on a good day through here. I seem to be saying this a lot, and that's the problem with running in winter, of course, is that you've got to expect dreary days, right? But on a good day through here, it is actually really pretty and quite a nice run if you're in that Tauranga area. Right, here's the trick. You can go that way, and I've done that before, but what you've got to try and pretend, so I've just come up from here, what you've got to try and pretend is almost as if you're, oh, I'm coming up here and I'm facing the side and it's told me to turn right. So you sort of assume, you know, you've got to do the opposite of that, and you've got to go, okay, as I came back down that hill, so it's saying head off that way, as I came down here, got to that, oh, okay, there's that sign, put my back to it, and then off we go this way. Because as I said, I don't know if it's not designated one way, I'm pretty sure it isn't, but the signs make it a little bit difficult. And then you just got to be a bit careful, you just got to keep keeping a bit of an eye out here, you know, so you sort of, oh yeah, here we go, goes that way, I'm on the right track here, go 180, oh, there's a little entrance there, poke my nose up in there. Otherwise you do run the risk of getting a little bit lost if you don't have if you haven't loaded the GPX down out of wildthings.club. And my advice would be simply to do that. Jump onto the website, download the GPX, stick it in your watch, and then it makes life a lot easier. But if you haven't got that luxury, then just yeah, there's a little tip for you on how to navigate back to the car park. I think trail dog can sense the end. Got a spring in his step. Really neat. Okay. See your friend busy. Wait, sit.